this hour. Going to talk more about those drink drive laws being tightened. Very interesting conversation with Nick Freeman just then. Also, British boots on the ground in Ukraine. Going to talk about that in the next 10 minutes or so with a former Defence Secretary for the Conservatives, Sir Ben Wallace. And also a catastrophic police blunder as parents were told their teenage son had died in a crash days before Christmas when he was actually alive in hospital. Another set of parents being told their son had survived when actually he was dead. Absolutely extraordinary blunder. How on earth? I mean, police are not carrying themselves in glory at the moment, are they not? Anyway, joining me for the chat today, Claire Pearsall, former Conservative Government Advisor. Morning to you.
Good morning.
Lots to talk about at home and abroad. Question we're putting on our audience, topic we're just talking about with Nick Freeman, the road safety campaigner. Government plans to slash the drink driving limit to under 1 pint. It's currently about 2 pints, but it kind of is it or isn't it? It depends whether you've had a meal. It depends whether you're a big bloke or a small woman. But basically, they claim it's going to improve road safety. What is your reaction? Because there's a lot of concern for local pubs and country pubs. A lot of concern that actually it's not going to make any darn difference. The people who are drink driving are drinking 20 pints, not 2 pints. What is your reaction? To give us a call on 0344 499 1000. Text the word talk in your message to 87222. And you can also send us a message on X at TalkTV. Calls are charged at the national rate. Text costs one standard network rate message. Claire, I have to say, I think Nick may have changed my mind on all of this. Yeah. I thought he was very convincing.
I think he was extremely convincing. I mean, I do query the amount of young people who are drinking because Gen Z are notorious for their health and wellness.
What is this whole Gen Z thing?
This is the young, so it'll be our children's age up to about 21, 22.
But they're largely not drinking. I think the biggest problem we've got with these young people is they're not They should be drinking and having more sex. That's what I think they should be doing. And then they'd all stop being whingy and moany and complaining about everything.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to affect that age group because they're not drinking anyway. It is the older people who have grown up thinking that it's absolutely fine to do it.
I don't know anyone of my generation, I'm 57, who would not be ashamed. I mean, absolutely mortified, if they drive.
But I also think we need to look at
drunk. I don't know. I don't know how to say that.
If you can't say it, don't drink and drive.
Have I been drinking? It could go either way, this one, yeah.
But the designated driver scheme, I remember when I was 18, I was the designated driver one evening with my friends. I paid for nothing all evening. I had soft drinks.
You're our taxi home.
You're our taxi home. You have to put up with drunk people. And they bought me a bottle of booze to have the following day, which they gave me at the end.
These people are committed. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? There's just only so many glasses of Coca-Cola or lemonade you could drink.
It was as dull as dishwater.
It's just, but that's never. But that's the thing. I would never consider drink driving, but it would never be an issue. I have a husband who loves driving.
Yes.
B, I live in central London. I'm basically, I'm going to Uber. I will get the tube. Yeah. But he also, my husband doesn't like being driven by me. So he says, I have to be drunk to be driven by you. He's clutched his lip. I am an average driver, okay? I'm an average driver. If you want to get somewhere quickly, I am your girl. I'm just telling you. I'm the same as well. I don't know. But so I know that I can't impair. I cannot possibly impair my driving at all. And I'd rather just not drive than impair my drinking. Because I think that's a good part of a night out. So I just don't use the car. I mean, honestly, I'm not lying. It's quite routine to come out and find where is the car. Parked it somewhere 2 weeks ago and it's got cobwebs on the ring mirrors. I'm not joking, but this is the thing that a lot of people in big cities like London don't get, how absolutely fine. You can't go anywhere. You can't get to work, you can't get your kids to school, you can't get to college, young person, you can't go to your job, you can't do the shop, you can't do anything without a car. They're a vital lifeline, and they're a vital lifeline for people going to country pubs.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I mean, the country pub is a brilliant institution, and I don't see how this will affect them any more than the current set of taxes is already affecting country pubs. I think that the government needs to step away from nanny state ideas like this, which aren't going to do anything for road safety, and all they're going to do is basically hit the middle class who they hate. That's what it is,
the thing.
isn't it?
Most of the people who are drink driving, who are involved, by the way, drink driving is a tiny percentage of accidents on the road. It's largely people just making very poor decisions about, not looking properly. Any accident, it's not looked properly. And speed is a bigger factor. And oh my God, I mean, you're 20 miles per hour on my way pretty much everywhere. It's an absolute nightmare. But we know that has an impact on, and we've had callers earlier, that has a massive impact on your stopping time and whether it's not someone's going to die or whether they're going to just be injured if you did hit them. But the people who are drink driving are off their head on drugs, 20 pints. They care not a jot. They don't expect to be caught. Frankly, they're probably alcoholics anyway. They think they're beyond the law. We don't punish these people seriously enough anyway, because it should be an automatic. I think drink driving, automatic 5-year ban, nothing to discuss. These people that go to court, and you get some celebrities, they go, but I need my car for my job. Well, you should have thought of that before you drove or you drove at 100 miles per hour on a local road then, shouldn't you? I would have thought if I needed my car for my job, I'd be a bit more careful about these things.
Yeah, and that's the view I take, is that I need to have my car, I need to be able to drive and get around, so therefore I'm not going to do anything that's going to put that at risk. Yeah. But I do think drug driving is actually far more serious. Yeah, and he's dead right. You see those little canisters, those laughing gas canisters, and you see that's with the younger age range. It's not the alcohol, it's those things.
Do you know, I was really aware when I used to work on the breakfast show, and I'd be travelling into work at about for half 5, and especially on a bank holiday weekend, and everybody, you got all these people on their way home from the nights out, and they're in the car and the music's going. You're like, no way, you lot are all sober. You're looking at the driver, you're thinking, you are not the I'm annoyed, I'm the sober driver, and you're thinking, police nowhere to be seen. Central London, nowhere to be seen, going, you should clean it. And then you read these stories about, these cars that have gone off the roads, a load of teenagers who are in their 20s being killed, and you just think, it's not a mystery, is it? It's not a mystery.
No, it really isn't, and that's where the police need to be looking at their time. But we don't have enough police to look at the actual crimes going on around our towns and cities at the moment without adding another level of drink driving.
Well, we've got an extra issue on the roads at the moment, which is the lack of grit on the roads when we've got all the ice and snow. I was saying earlier when I arrived at the show that I did one of those little old ladies. I've fallen and I can't get up, and I'm not suing myself because it was my own front path, and I was in trainers and it looked absolutely fine out there. Looked fine, and you couldn't see anything. Absolute sheet of ice in the front path. Got the walking boots on, still barely made it to the tube station because it was all so slippery. A lot of anger, an awful lot of councils, as always, saving money. They don't mend the potholes and they don't put grit on the roads, and what a surprise. People are having accidents, all the roads are impassable. I
mean, in defence of councils ever so slightly, I mean, it's very complicated. You have national highways.
She's a local Tory councillor.
I used to be. It's still there. But you've got national highways that look after the motorway and main roads, and then you've got your local authorities who look after A and B roads around towns and cities.
So it's not going to be a local residential street that gets
Absolutely gritted. Not. They don't have enough vehicles to be able to do that. Now, this is where communities come in and local parish councils, because the grit bins, we've got them around our village everywhere, and everybody goes and helps themselves to a thing of salt and grits along the pathways and along the roads, and they help out their neighbours. I mean, I know, shock horror. Actually, this is the one time of year.
Catch on.
This is the one time of year that most people get on because they're out to look out for each other, and no one wants a little old lady falling over.
Like me, a big old lady falling over. Honestly, I was like a beetle. I couldn't get up. It was ridiculous. Okay, there's another story close to home. Let's talk about Reform. They've had a press conference this morning. They've announced their London mayoral candidate for the elections next year. We've got local elections coming up this year. The few that Keir Starmer's going to actually allow to go ahead. We know Reform are going to be the big losers now. A lot of Conservative councils and basically most of the South East outside London are supposed to have local elections. Those are going to be delayed, and basically have a 3-year delay in total. But they've announced that Layla Cunningham, regular here on the show, she's been a local Westminster councillor. She's going to be the London mayoral candidate. She has already said she's pledging to automate every single tube train in London unless the unions and Transport for London start working for London. As we had, it was a spate when we had strike after strike after strike, and basically, we've got tube drivers on 70+ grand a year for work that, I'm sorry, it's basically 2 weeks of training. I'm all for people earning a decent salary, but I don't think that the person who's driving the train start, stop, open doors, closed doors. I'm not entirely sure that person should be paid more than the resident doctor who is doing surgery on my child. I'm sorry,
No,
I really think we need to get to grips with this. They've been holding the country to ransom, holding the capital city to ransom many, many times with their strikes. She's basically saying, no, play ball or I'm going to automate. The reality is, it would take years to automate in different technology. But I'm all for that threat.
I think that we need those kind of serious levels of threats. When you're talking about unions, they are so militant and they will not be shifted from whatever opinion it is. And if you give in to them once, you have to keep giving in to them, as we've seen. Yeah. So if whoever shouts loudest gets the pay rise.
And it's basically closed shop.
Yeah, it is closed shop, and it always has been. So I support her in that. It'd be interesting to see what other policies she brings forward for London, to see what kind of difference they make. It's a long time of a campaign. So
Sadiq Khan's on his 3rd term,
which is unbelievable.
It is extraordinary.
Really is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a very divided city, I have to say. I did think that ULEZ was going to be the back of him. But no, that said, I mean, his trolling of us on New Year's Eve, I did watch the fireworks back New Year's Eve. It's like, could we just have some fireworks? Could we just have some fireworks and not get the political messaging? Yeah. And any excuse, and I know he managed to get it in on the sort of like suspect Ryder Cup victory, EU flag. That EU flag was the whole of the London Eye. It was. Whole of the London Eye. Yeah. We got the England flag for a fraction of the time compared to the EU flag. I'm sorry.
I know, and I just want to see fireworks because we tuned in and watched it as well. It's just I just want to see pretty fireworks going off. I want the capital to look great, and I don't need
good advertisement for the rest of the world. Can you?
Yeah,
but yeah, I know it's just so frustrating. Anyway, going to